WWE clinching their bracket spot as well as that first pool seed for their region at Worlds with that win, moving to 5-3. So very happy with the victory they just picked up. Want to start in Champs Like, though, because there are some concerns around what they drafted. It just looked wonky. To Azael's point, I mean, the fact that we've got a Galio support, the Fizz flexed, and all of a sudden a Kog'Maw is supposed to fit into this comp somewhere?
Well, here's the thing, though. If you're from the LPL and if you watch a lot of the LPL, this is stock standard. They do this all the time. I know that a lot of other regions globally, they're like, oh, but protect the Kog'Maw comp. You need a bunch of shields. You need maybe like an Orianna in the mid lane. No, what we like to do is we actually like to have assassins in the mid lane when we have Kog'Maw, because then they're self-sufficient. You don't need to protect the Fizz. He's going to do his own thing and dive the backline. Galio just needs to worry about the little Kog'Maw next to him.
I was going to say, it's a lot harder to kill the Kog'Maw if you're worried about a Fizz and a Kled running through your team to assassinate your AD carry. So in that way, it kind of serves as a protect the Kog'Maw cup by diverting attention.
Best defense, good offense, Dash, you know, the kind of impulse style that we are actually used to.
Absolutely. But either way here, for Flash Wolves having taken down SKT, even having a couple really solid fights early in this game, also going to be a little bit of a heartbreak and kind of just contributing to this picture of inconsistency for them throughout this tournament.
It did feel like our expectations were largely met, though, when it came to this game, and 957 predictably did find a good matchup. The fact that you brought up the Fizz flex pick, it's the third Fizz flex pick today where it was drafted early, where clearly they were leaving their options open for multiple lanes, that has come out on the winning side. And I think this is one of those small trends or day trends that I think will extend tomorrow, because the value of flex pick, something I talked about pre-tournament, it's coming up. The Galio now a true flex pick, the Fizz a true flex pick. Hiding your information, especially on the red side, is just so powerful.
I'm actually kind of kicking myself a little bit. You know, I predicted that Team WE would win this, but I predicted that it would happen in the individual lane matchups. And the thing is Flash Wolves, when they turn on, when they beat SKT, it's because they're, you know, Ramboing as 5 or running as 4 people into a lane. And I should have, like, seen them and be like, oh, Team WE, they're from the LPL. They're going to be fine with this. Like, Flash Wolves, come at us.
Either way, you still landed on the right answer. Kobe, you wanted to jump in there? No, not anymore. I'm done talking.
Fast.
Well, let's look at a replay then. WE getting the Baron here. I mean, this is off the back end of just a single kill, so a very decisive call.
Okay, and I know I was just praising Team WE, but I gotta go a little bit disappointed mom mode here. The setup for this Baron is pretty questionable. Yes, the execution comes perfect this time around, but if you do this exact same play, even in this exact same game, that's still a 50-50 Baron. That's still a very scary situation, and that would be the only way for Flash Wolves to break back into this. So yeah, it worked out for you, Team WE. You do this all the time in the LPL, but you cannot do this against the top 4 teams in the tournament if you want to go farther now.
Definitely a scary moment, but you see there the gold graph, Kobe. That basically indicates how much of a stalemate this game was at up until that point. And, you know, again, Deficio, Azael, they're talking about it that, you know, there would be one big team fight that would break it all. Well, the one big team fight ended up being that single kill that then nets the Baron. But what's your opinion on that gutsy call? I mean, just a couple days ago, we were criticizing teams, Flash Wolves being one of them, for not going after the Baron and keep pulling off of it.
Exactly. I actually kind of liked it because not only were they able to get that kill, but large chunks forced multiple members back as well. And they also had the intention of turning for the picks. You could see multiple times they're ready to come off of the Baron, and they feint off it. Really good fish is what made it work. You know, to Frost's point, it is a good point that is still risky,
Dangerous.
and they were able to execute it really well this time. But yeah, I kind of do err on the side of take that risk. You know, this is the opening, go for it.
Absolutely. Papa, anything to close here on this game specifically?
I just want to talk a little bit about the Galio support, because it's like definitely the least heralded role compared to support, compared to top lane and mid lane. The one thing I like is when you have 2 powerful split pushes here, it is, of course, the Kled and also the Fizz. When they both hit their item spikes, you put Kog'Maw in mid lane to just hoover up the CS with a Hurricane, and then Galio can react very fast with his ultimate to top and bot lane, and assuming he has a couple of points in the damage reduction, can help win out on trades there. So just another one of those situations where you get a lot of value out of the Galio, but it doesn't have to take up a solo lane route, and you're just relying on him jumping in, and sure, it might be just for CC. He might die, but you'll probably trade up because he'll react so fast coming in from the mid lane with a semi-global.
And even the lane phase, I was actually pleasantly surprised by the laning phase of this Kog'Maw Galio, because the champs are like, whoa, what's going on here?
The level 1 is pretty damn good.
They're able to push really well, and it is, yeah, you know, into another melee matchup with the Tahm Kench. But if it wasn't for the Shen threat from the top line, they actually had a lot of pressure in that bottom lane just in the 2v2.
It's kind of funny to think about the 1-3-1 where the 3 actually then kind of protects against the collapses onto the side lanes as opposed to the ones, collapsing back towards the mid. Either way, with 1 day left in the group stage, let's go ahead and check out how the teams are arranged in the standings. SKT, they have lost their perfect record, but not their hold on first place. Team WE, they are solidly in second right now, which means Flash Wolves, G2, Gigabyte Marines, and TSM all sitting in third with 3 wins. Now, every team is still in control of their own destiny and can at least force a tiebreaker to make the bracket tomorrow.
Interesting point there, of course. If WE hit 6 wins with a single win tomorrow, they guarantee themselves second or third, so they get themselves out of the running to face SKT. And you have to think, though, with everyone at 3 and 5, if Flash Wolves sneak in to 4th spot, maybe even SKT's semifinal or potential finals appearance is in doubt.
Very, very exciting semifinal that would be. But also, too, if SKT picks up 1 win, they then clinch that first place slot because they are 2 games separated above WE at the moment. Now, with SKT being dealt their first loss of the tournament today, Shox had a moment to catch up with SKT's support earlier to talk about the rebound.
Thank you very much, Dash, and I'm here to catch up with the support for SKT Wolf on a one-on-one day. And I do want to start by asking you something about your TSM game. You pulled out your Sona, which I know is a loved pick from you from a long time ago. We know it can have a good laning phase into Karma, but what are kind of the challenges from Sona in the rest of the game, and how do you play around those?
이제 우선 TSM전에서 울프 선수의 소나 픽에 대해서 여쭙고 싶은데요. 울프 선수가 예전부터 소나를 즐겨 게임 하셨고, 소나가 카르마 상대로 좋은 픽을 알고 있지만, 소나를 픽함으로써 그 외에 다른 어려운 점들이 분명히 있었을 텐데 게임하면서 그 점들을 어떻게 잘 대처하셨는지 말씀해 주세요.
네, 일단 제 개인적인 생각으로는 일단 카르마가 저는 소나 상대로 좋다고 생각하거든요. 그래서 네, 그거는 제가 그냥 뭐 라인전을 잘 푼 것 같고, 나머지 것들은 제가 예전에 소나를 해오던 게 있으니까 뭐 어느 정도의 가락이 남아 있었던 거겠죠.
어떤 걸 해요?
그냥 예전부터 소나를 많이 했었고, 뭐 별로 안 했더라도, 만약에 별로 안 했더라도 뭐 제 정도 실력 되면 이제 깔끔하게 할 수 있죠.
I personally think that Sona isn't a counter pick for Karma, so it's actually pretty even in lane phase. So it was actually me playing good at Sona at the lane phase. And since I've been playing Sona for such a long time, even though I haven't played Sona for a while, if you're at my level, you can play Sona good at any time.
All right. Well, a lot of the attention always goes in SKT to some of the other members, but I do feel like you're having an exceptionally good tournament, and I feel like the confidence is coming out now as well. How do you feel you've been doing overall compared to maybe last year's MSI or maybe even Worlds most recently?
비록 이번 대회에 이제 그 많은 관심이 SKT 팀에 뭐 다른 뭐 페이커 선수나 피너 선수에게 뭐 다른 선수들이 많이 가고 있지만, 특히 울프 선수는 이번 대회에 정말 좋은 성적을 거두고 좋은 활약을 하고 계시는데요. 울프 선수는 본인의 활약을 이전에 작년 MSI나 또 기존 대회들과 비교해서 어떻다고 생각하시나요?
일단 작년 MSI랑 비교하면 그냥 작년만큼 딱 나오는 것 같아요. 네, 그 정도 나오는 것 같고, 다른 대회랑 비교해도 그 정도 나오는 것 같아요. 그냥 저는 제 생각에 언제나 실수를 적게 하고 그냥 언제나 잘한다고 생각해요, 제가.
I actually think I'm just playing as well as past tournaments like last year MSI, last year Worlds. I think that as a support, I always make less mistakes, and I'm always awesome at my role.
All right, well, you're definitely awesome. You guys, I do have to talk about the loss versus the Flash Wolves. Is there any reason for concern? Is there anything you took from that you're going to have to look out for going forward?
지금 플래시루전 패배에 대해서 여쭤보고 싶은데요. 그 플래시루전 패배 이후로 좀 배운 점이라든지 이후에 좀 조심해야 될 점들이 좀 논의된 게 있으신가요?
근데 플래시루전에서 피드백을 정말 많이 했는데 결국에는 저희의 실수로 비롯된 것이라서 그냥 지금까지 해왔던 것처럼 더 실수를 줄이고 뭐 픽밴을 조금 더 연구하고 그 정도인 것 같아요. 그냥 저희의 실수만 줄이면 저는 우승까지 아무런 문제가 없다고 생각합니다.
We gave a lot of feedbacks after our loss against Flash Wolves, and we concluded that it was mostly our mistakes. So for the upcoming games, we just talk about how we should reduce our mistakes and put a bit more time into analyzing our pick and bans. And by doing that, I think we are still on a steady road to winning the
Okay.
Looks like we may have had some technical difficulties coming out of that interview, but Wolf, confident as ever in his own play on that Sona, and of course still very confident that the team will come out with a tournament victory overall, if not a perfect one at that. Now, the day starts tomorrow, though, with SK Telecom T1 versus G2 Esports. Then, of course, North America's TSM takes on the LMS's Flash Wolves, followed by Team WE versus the Gigabyte Marines. If there are any ties at the end of our regular schedule, we will bring you those immediately following the conclusion of Game 6. Before we go, though, you already kind of laid out a little bit, Papa Smithy, some of that some of the jostling that can happen within those standings themselves. But I feel like strength of schedule, right? The actual matchups that happen tomorrow are going to play into this so much. Some teams already having played SKT, for example, G2 definitely has a tougher road right off the bat.
I completely agree, but I guess we're trying to read who it's going to be, who the top 4 are going to be, and it's really hard to read. Flash Wolves especially. I mean, I guess maybe you're asking me, am I going back on, say, WE and G2 being locks? And you do start, WE already there. G2, you have to say. I mean, I don't know what your opinion is on this, Frusker, and you had them ranked so highly, but now suddenly you really do start to do the double takes about both Flash Wolves and G2 when it comes to moving up and moving down.
I mean, this is the time that as an NA fan, you're kind of grateful that TSM's already played that second game against SKT, perhaps have an easier road. Flash Wolves and G2 up tomorrow as compared to, say, the Flash Wolves have Gigabytes and TSM. G2, though, SKT and TSM. So, again, so much about strength of schedule. Kobe, do you have an inkling as to what the next 2 teams will be before we get to tomorrow?
The next 2 teams will be what? What do you mean?
That qualify into the top 4.
Oh.
Because WE did lock.
SKT and WE, obviously, if those are on your schedule to play, then those are the ones that you want to avoid right now. As far as choosing the other 2 teams, it's still incredibly difficult. I am still leaning towards G2.
Oh, wow.
And I actually think that Flash Wolves, despite losing again right here, have the chance to bounce back.
I saw a face over here. What's that about?
I didn't hear TSM in there.
Oh, yeah. Well, so are you a proponent of TSM making it through then, based on that reaction, or do you think that the Flash Wolves and G2 have what it takes to squeak by?
I just think stylistically, specifically against Flash Wolves, that G2 and TSM can actually exploit them. Like, if that's going to be the tight 3 race, that said, Gigabyte Marines could again throw like a spanner in the works and just like destroy all of that. But I'm actually waiting more towards the Western teams kind of squeaking in there. I think Flash Wolves stylistically were predispositioned well against SKT to bring us that great victory. But I don't think it'll happen for TSM and G2.
Now, the important thing to note is that all of the teams aren't in control of their own destiny. So win both your games tomorrow and you're in. But that's going to do it for tonight. So for myself, the casters, the analysts, and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.